Warning, D.C. is a town full of monuments, and some of them hide in plain sight. This week's target, a monument with a backstory so bizarre it almost wasn't safe to air on Mad About Town.
Good luck editing this one, yeah.
For now, I've taken the liberty of concealing this monument's identity and hiding its, parts.
I don't want to misgender the horse.
Allow me to explain.
We are in Scott Circle, so named after the statue of General Winfield Scott, which stands at the center of it.
If there's mischief afoot, you should know at this point that Ranger Mike is probably nearby.
Just another day with Mad About Town.
Mike tells me General Winfield Scott, after George Washington, is really one of the true military heroes of our country. Serving under every president from Jefferson to Lincoln, Scott is credited with helping the U.S. win the Mexican-American War and the Union win the Civil War.
Winfield Scott dies in 1866, right after the end of the Civil War. Congress the following year authorizes the construction of a memorial, allocates $35,000.
And this is where things go from a history lesson to Matt After Dark. Mike says Scott's statue was completed by 1874.
Scott's family gets a look at it, and they are outraged because the sculptor, Henry Kirk Brown, has put Scott on a mare.
That's a female horse, for those of you still following.
It's widely known that Scott preferred to ride a mare. But the family's like, no, it needs to be, he needs to be shown a position of power. He needs to be on a stallion with flaring nostrils.
Though the statue was historically accurate, world-renowned sculptor Henry Kirk Brown found himself in a pickle.
He's a little bit put out at this point, and he will do sort of the absolute minimum to grant their wishes. It's still a mare there today, but if you look closely, it has, shall we say, the appendages of a stallion.
That's right. Mike says the necessary appendages were added after the fact. You thought I wasn't going to show it, didn't you?
You sort of have to wonder, was there an event for it? It would have been hilarious to live in this neighborhood that day and see the actual sculptor, climbing up there and, what's the plan?
Mike says there was no separate dingling ceremony, sadly. The necessary appendages were still able to be added before the statue went on full display.
This is widely regarded as one of the least impressive statues in the nation's capital. Scott weighed over 300 pounds by the end of his career.
Wow.
The fact that he's on this little tiny mare, the proportions of it are sort of all out of whack.
One last fun fact for you. Today just so happens to be General Winfield Scott's birthday, and I, for one, can't think of any better way to remember him.
It's been a shoot. Maybe the last one we ever do.
Can't wait to see how this one turns out. Going out in a blaze of glory.
Here in front of the Scott statue. I don't even know, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Here in front of the Scott statue with Ranger Mike for the last episode ever of Mad About Town. I'm Matt Kaufax, WTOP News.
Want more Mad About Town? Hear me on the radio before my videos are available online. Listen every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 7:45 and airing throughout the day on 103.5 FM, the WTOP app, or your smart speaker.